All right, so there it is right there. There's my equation. I want the x and y intercepts. What is every single x intercept? X comma 0. What is every single y intercept? 0 comma y. I will work in those two colors. If I'm keeping x, but I have no y, what happens to that and that? Which one drops out? Why does the y drop out? Because 2 times 0 is 0. And 3x minus 0 plus 8 is 3x plus 8, isn't it? So I am going to write it out completely, right? But of course, when you were doing your own work, you would just drop the y right out, right? 3x minus 2 times 0 plus 8 equals 0. And then I do algebra to find x. 3x plus 8 equals 0. 3x equals negative 8. X equals negative 8 thirds. Now, should I put that on my graph now? Yes or no? I see 2 people shaking their heads. I see 28 people doing nothing.
I'm trying to understand it. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's all right.
No, you shouldn't. You should wait.
Why?
Because you said wait last time. I forgot why.
Good. That's halfway to understanding something. The last time I said to, I said wait. Excellent. Can anybody tell Jalem why, Damaris? I may have to change the scales, right? So I'm not going to put that on yet. I'm going to shift over to Dusty Rose. 3 times 0 minus 2y plus 8 equals 0. Negative 2y equals negative 8. Y equals 4. Now, I have to put these on the graph. If I change my scale for x to thirds, then where do I put the number 1?
Under the folder. Wait, were you talking about the last one thing? Alright, the number 1 we're doing.
Where do I put the number 1 on my x scale if I have to change to thirds?
Put it on the third one.
Third square, yes? So 1, 2, 3. There is the number 1. Once you do that, does that show me that you know what you're doing?
No.
It shows me that you've split into thirds, right? So where would negative 8 thirds be? To the left, how far?
Negative 8 of your ones.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I've split this into thirds. Yes? Now, if I keep the same scale for my friend Dusty Rose here, then how far up would I need to go? 12. Can I fit that on there? No. So do I do this? No, that's garbage. Looks like crap. We like our math to be elegant and attractive, like the teacher. So I cannot go up 12, so what must I do? Go up by ones. So I have to label that as 1, which means how far up do I go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody agree? Then I connect the line. Now, here is the problem. What's the slope? What's the slope? Because almost all of you are going to count right now. Because it's on a graph. And you're going to say it's 4 over 8. But that would be completely wrong, wouldn't it? Because slope is rise over run, and a graph, as we learned last unit, is not a representation of real, is not a drawing of real life. It is representation. Yes? So what is my real rise here? How far did I really go up? 4. That's correct. What's my real run? 8/3. So it is really 4 divided by 8/3, which is really 4 times 3/8, which is really 12/8, which is really 3/2. Does everybody understand?
Man, if I had laser math vision to see the future like that, like you, I'd get every question right. Like, how did you know how to throw those numbers, man?
Because he's been teaching math.
Wow.
Okay, anyways, if you are a bit of a slacker and you don't totally pay 100% of attention and all you heard was, when it's on the graph, count, rise over run, then you're going to screw this question up, right? And if you're the person in charge of getting the Mars rover to land on Mars and you screw up the slope because you forget that the scales are different, then the Mars rover is not going to land on Mars. And NASA will not say, it's okay, man, we'll give you a retest. That was only $30 billion. Don't worry about it. You come back. You come back in 6 weeks. You do a retest. We'll put another rover on Mars. We'll take good care of you. No, of course not. They'll fire you. But school teaches you real life. Everybody good? Does everybody understand what I did there? If the scales were the same, could we count? Yes. But if the scales are different, you must remember that it is rise over run. Okay? May we go on? Yes?
What if you counted both of them in thirds, like this?
That would be weird.
X-axis you counted in thirds and the y-axis.
So if we were actually up at 12 up here,
Yeah.
well then they were the same scale, so you could count.
You can go right to 12 over 8 if you
Well, 1 second, I'm answering Anish first, Luke. I still can't hear him because Luke is finishing his monologue. I feel your pain, Luke. I like to finish my monologues too, because right now I am monologuing as we speak and not answering Anish's question, just like the bad guy in Incredibles 1. Go.
Okay, for like the 4 over 8 over 3,
Yes.
what if the, for the y-axis, if we counted them both as thirds?
That's just what I said. So if you actually counted this as thirds and the graph went up to here and you went up 12,
Yeah.
then you would have 12 over 8. Because they're the same scale, you could actually count. Everybody good? All right. Turn the page, or don't turn the page. Go to number 6. There are 2 ways to solve number 6. You can solve it graphically or algebraically. Which would you like to attempt first? Algebraically, certainly. Since I know, what do I know from this question? What is that? That there's an X and a Y. What is that? That there's an X and a Y. What is that? Garbage, a son of a bishop. Ah! Do you guys know who Captain Caveman is?
No.
Okay.
know Captain Underpants.
No, Captain Underpants is stupid. Captain Caveman is awesome. Actually, I don't mind Captain Underpants. He's not that bad. Don't get me wrong. What is that? A slope, which is M. Do we have something that uses M, 2 X's, and 2 Y's? What is it?
Y equals mx plus b.
Oh, wow.
Right? What goes where? What goes in for M? 2 over 1, because we like a rise and a run in math. What goes in for y2? Who decides? You decide. What would be the smart one to put there? I put y minus 6, because that's the order we like to see things. Which makes this guy y2. What does that make this guy? X2. So it's negative 4 minus 2. Then I simplify. 2 over 1 equals y minus 6 over negative 6, correct? How do you do algebra every single time in the history of the universe when it is fraction equals fraction? Same way we did it in trig, same way we did it in measurement. What do? He waited patiently. Oh, I'm going to make you guys do this the long way if somebody can't come up with how to do this. I'm going to count to 5 in my head. If someone can't tell me how to do this by then, I'm going to make you do all 30 steps it takes to do it the long way.
Good. That way I'll know how to do it.
Negative 6y.
I want them all.
Excellent. Let's start working. I need y by itself, so now I need to isolate it. So I got to get rid of negative 6. So I multiply both sides by negative 6. Cancel, cancel. Negative 12 equals y minus 6. Plus 6, plus 6, y equals negative 6. So, if y equals negative 6, what do you see right there? No. You see a negative 6 there? How many fingers am I holding up? Negative 6? That's a y, dude.
Oh, but you just said y equals negative 6?
And then I said, what do you see there?
Oh, I didn't see what you.
What do you see there?
I see a y that.
Excellent. You see a y. Now we know it's not y. What do we know it is, Jalem?
Oh, it's negative 6.
There you go, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah? Everybody good? Now, let's do it the other way. Do I know any dot on this graph? What dot do I know to put on this graph?
2,6.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes? Do I know anything else about this graph?
Yes.
I know the other point is somewhere on x equals negative 4, correct? Somewhere on that dotted line, yeah? And I know I've got a slope of 2, correct? So if I go down 2 and left 1, is that a slope of 2?
Yes.
And if I go down 2 and left 1, is that a slope of 2? And if I go down 2 and left 1, is that a slope of 2? And if I go down 2 and left 1, is that a slope of 2? And if I go down 2 and left 1, is that a slope of 2? And if I go down 2 and left 1, oh, have I hit negative 4? And what is the value of y? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can everybody do this graphically and algebraically?
To an extent. I'll give you
Now,
the answer.
the next time we do this algebraically, it is going to be significantly more difficult because there is not going to be a 1 down there. I hope that you have figured out how to do that, because right now you're going to do it again. Go.
Oh, where?
M equals what? What does M equal?
X minus 1.
y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is M? Negative 3 over 2. What is y2?
It's negative 4.
Okay. Minus what?
Minus 1.
No.
Or
y2 minus y1 minus 5 over what?
Thinking,
X.
No.
are you doing the X's or Y's?
Well, I've done the y's.
Okay, I already have. So,
X minus negative 1, which is x plus 1. Now, how do you solve that? First, you simplify.
okay, I'm gonna.
I sure hope somebody remembers, because that one's a real pain in the arse to do the long way. And I'm going to make you do it the long way if somebody doesn't tell me how to do it in 5,
Simplify the
4,
numerator. Oh, we did that.
3. Pardon me? That's the long way. 2. Ah, thank you, Amy. You cross them.
What?
Because I've only done that 1,000 times this year.
Bruh.
Negative 3x minus 3 equals negative 18.
Wow, did that. What the heck? Yeah, that was just like, what are you randomly inserting numbers to me? Why isn't that like that?
You need x by itself. How are you going to get it out of the denominator? No. It's already being divided by. How do you get something out of a denominator? You multiply by x plus 1. Cancel, cancel. If you multiply the right side, what must you do to the left side? Multiply that by x plus 1. Now, numerator with numerator. Negative 3x minus 3 over 2 equals negative 9. Now, how do you get rid of the 2? Multiply by 2. If you multiply the left side, what do you do with the right side? Multiply by 2. Cancel, cancel. Negative 3x minus 3 equals negative 18. You can see that you had to multiply the x plus 1 by negative 3 there, and you had to multiply the negative 9 by 2 there. So what's the shortcut?
Now I understand.
I'm glad we've had this talk. Good talk, guys, good talk. X is now 5, so we are done, correct? He waited patiently. You are good? Now, do the exact same thing, but do it graphically. Do you know any points over here? Negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know anything else on this graph? You know the slope, and what else do you know? Where is the other point going to be? Somewhere on this line, correct? If I have a slope of negative 3 over 2, that's down 1, 2, 3, left 2. Down 1, 2, 3, left 2. Down 1, 2, 3, left 2. And there's my spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what x is. Is everybody good? Graphically and algebraically. I know it's first block, so I'm going to let you take a moment or two to make sure indeed you are good, while I have a sip of my tasty hot beverage. To quote Sheldon, when one is in times of distress, one needs a hot beverage. You will notice that I drink a hot beverage every single day I teach high schoolers math.
What is it, Derby coffee?
Hmm?
Is it Derby coffee?
What coffee?
Bourbon.
I'm not a drunk. No, he said bourbon coffee. Dirty coffee. The coffee that the cats crap out. You guys know that coffee, right? It's like $100 a pound. They feed coffee beans to civet cats in Vietnam. And the cats can't digest the beans. As you know, when you eat chili beans or corn, what comes out the other end? Beans and corn. Cats can't chew the coffee beans, so they force them down the cat's throats. It's incredibly cruel. And then it goes through the cat's digestive system, and they crap it out, and then they pick the coffee beans out of the crap. And then they sell it to rich people. The guts, the process of going through the guts cleans all the bad stuff off the coffee bean. No, it's not nice. It's incredibly cruel to the animal. And you're eating coffee beans that have been sitting in poo. I have 2 cats. You want some cat poo coffee? I'll hook you up. Tell you what, I'll give you a deal. You pay me $50 a pound instead of $100. I got these 2 stray cats keep coming in through my pet door. I'll trap them and force feed them because they're not my cats.
Wait, a pound, bro? That's a lot for a cat to eat, though.
Yeah.
Now I just realized.
At any rate, that would be dirty coffee. Luke assumes I'm drunk all the time, apparently, and my coffee is filled with bourbon. All right. Yes. Make sure you talk quieter. We don't want to wake Harsh. What? I know.
No, I got that part, but I'm down here.
We went up by
It's
1
4 and then X, right? And it has to be positive X.
Over negative
Oh,
1, not
okay.
by 5.
I was just checking
The
that I
slope
got
goes
that.
negative 2, isn't that 1.5?
Yeah.
Go down by
Because the slope is rise over run. You guys need to stop being scared of fractions. They're the better method of counting. Decimals are stupid. Decimals only exist because people don't want to write big fractions. Decimals complicate math.
Decimals is like a system we use in money.
Yes.
So it's not completely useless.
All right. This is not finance class. This is math class.
In the real world.
All right. Now, I am going to completely shut up, and you are going to try and do that totally on your own, graphically and algebraically.